grade, we're going to show patience up here, okay? Hello, GCA, and here we are at the last week of patience. And we have really been practicing hard at this patience thing. And let me tell you, it's actually been pretty hard for us. It's been really hard for us to sit quietly for a few moments between activities in the classroom. It's really hard to wait patiently in line. And for some of us, it's really hard to wait until Mrs. Buckles is done talking before we want to share our ideas with Mrs. Buckles. We didn't realize that we had so many opportunities to practice patience every single day. And we didn't realize how hard it would be to actually be patient. But thankfully, we were able to read some stories from the Bible about other people who also struggled with patience. Do you remember Isaac's son, Esau? He had a twin brother, Jacob. And Esau was so hungry after working one day that instead of patiently waiting or even fixing his own dinner, he sold everything his father was going to give him for a bowl of stew. And then Moses, when he led the Israelites out of Egypt, he faithfully and patiently followed God for almost 40 years in the desert. And when the Israelites complained again about not having enough water to drink, Moses asked God what to do. Yet, instead of patiently following God's directions, Moses came up with his own idea and did that instead. And as a result, Moses was never allowed to enter the land that God promised to the Israelites. So we learned about some of these consequences of not being patient. But thankfully, we also got to learn about people who did demonstrate patience. We read about Jacob and Esau's father, Isaac, and all of his family who lived in the land that God had given to them. But when the people also living in the land were kind of arguing about where the wells were dug and that they wanted the wells for themselves, you know what? It was okay. Isaac just went over and he dug another well somewhere else. And when they started arguing about that, he went over somewhere else. So he had to wait patiently to get the well that was his. Probably one of the most patient people we learned about in first grade this month was Job. He was one of the greatest men in the land where he lived. He had everything and he followed God in all the areas of his life. But Satan came to God and challenged God. He said, I bet Job wouldn't follow him if you took everything away. So, knowing Job's heart, God allowed Satan to take absolutely everything away from Job. And Job, though he didn't understand it or even like what happened, he never sinned against God or tried to make things better all by himself. He simply waited on God, and eventually God returned to Job double of everything that had been taken away from him. So when we read all these stories in first grade, we were encouraged because we found out that other people struggled to be patient too, but we also found some examples of people in the Bible who showed us what patience was like. So we now have a skit that the kids have been practicing and are so excited to share with you about cows and chickens and being patient.
I'm getting sick of my job. Why do I have to lay the eggs?
I have to wait all day to hatch one egg. It takes so much patience to sit around and wait to have this one thing to give to Farmer John. I want to go out into the pen and have fun. But I can't do anything until I lay this one egg. I know what you mean. My job is to give the milk. But I have to wait for someone to come and milk me. Some days I don't want to wait for them to put my milk in the bucket. I just want to get rid of it and go over.
It takes a lot of self-control not to kick and dance around. Try to get Farmer John's attention so that he'll take care of me first.
I'm always last and I don't like it. Sometimes I just want to do things my way. Why do we always have to wait? It seems like we wait for everything.
We wait to be fed, we wait to go to bed, we wait to get up.
If I didn't have to do all this waiting, if I didn't have to do all this waiting, maybe I'd have time to lay more than one egg.
I know what you mean. But if we are patient and we do what we're supposed to do, everything is calm. It's so noisy and crazy when everybody is flying everywhere and calling Farmer John to take care of them first. I guess being patient and controlling ourselves is better. Yeah, I think so too.
We now have a poem we're going to share and a scripture verse and a song. So guys, let's get your scripts down.
That keeps messing with it. Right. Let's see it.
Waiting can seem painful, but put others' needs before your own. Trusting God with our time. Important to learn. Each of us needs to practice. No noise while you wait. Waiting cheerfully honors God.
Encourage others with our example.
That all spells patience. Okay, so you want to put that down. And now, the first graders have been so excited. We're going to share our scripture verse, but then get ready, GCA, because you know the song that Mr. Anderson taught us a couple weeks ago about patience? The chickens and the cows will lead you in that song.
Psalm 27:14. Wait on the Lord. Be strong. Don't lose hope. Wait on the Lord. Psalm 27:14.
Wait on the Lord.
Be strong.
Take heart. Wait on the Lord.
Wait for the Lord. Wait
For the Lord.
Be strong.
Be strong.